What if I told you there's one quantum secret that changes everything about your reality? If you don't change this one thing, nothing in your life will ever shift. What if I told you that every single thing you see around you right now is nothing more than a reflection of who you are inside? Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will shake everything you thought you knew about reality. The foundation, internal before external. Here's something most people will never understand about transformation. This isn't about learning some new technique or following a step-by-step strategy. The mirror principle goes far deeper than that. It's about fundamentally reshaping who you are at your core. Think about this for a second. If your goal is to become a millionaire, here's the truth nobody wants to hear. You must first become that millionaire internally before it can ever show up externally. And here's why most people fail at this. They keep jumping from opportunity to opportunity, strategy to strategy, wondering why nothing ever sticks. The real problem? They never changed on the inside. This is the first major revelation of this principle. If your internal state remains the same, your external circumstances will never shift. This is the core essence of the mirror principle. Now, if you truly master what I'm about to share with you, everything you touch will transform into gold. But here's the catch, and this is where most people quit. You'll need to face your own shadows, your own reflection, the parts of yourself you've been avoiding, the words you don't want to hear about who you've become. If you're genuinely ready for real transformation, and not just surface-level change, then this message is specifically for you. And before we go any deeper, I want to share a powerful exercise that I still use every single day. This practice alone has the potential to revolutionize everything. So let's dive into this principle and discover how it can literally reshape your entire existence. Understanding the mirror of reality. Reality operates as a mirror. It reflects back two fundamental things: your relationship with yourself and your relationship with the world around you. Your inner universe and your outer universe are intimately connected. Let me break this down with a clear example. Going back to the millionaire example. If your relationship with money is rooted in the belief that you're incapable of creating wealth, that you're somehow not wired for financial success, then the mirror of reality responds accordingly. The universe essentially says, "Oh, that's your belief system? All right, here's more evidence to confirm it." And what happens next? Life delivers more circumstances that validate your original hypothesis. More proof that you can't make money. More situations that reinforce the story you keep telling yourself. Here's what you need to burn into your mind right now. The external world is simply a reflection formed by the image you project. In other words, it's your internal world made visible. When we examine the world carefully, something becomes crystal clear. Most people are drowning in the chaos of external circumstances. They're consumed by technology, social media feeds, and the constant noise of daily life. In this process, they've completely lost touch with their inner wisdom, that deep internal essence that once guided them. The 4 keys to reshaping reality. Now we're going to explore the 4 keys that will empower you to mold reality according to your deepest desires. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll see why most manifestation teachings completely miss the mark. When people study manifestation or the attraction principle, one concept appears repeatedly: reality as a mirror. But here's where everyone gets it wrong. They try to manipulate the mirror itself. Key number 1. Understanding what the mirror reflects. The first fundamental key is recognizing that the mirror of reality reflects 2 distinct elements simultaneously. First, your relationship with yourself. Second, your relationship with the world surrounding you. What you observe in reality's mirror is a projection of how you perceive yourself and how you perceive the world. If you look at yourself and think, "I'm not good enough," the mirror simply echoes that belief back. "I'm not good enough. I can't accomplish this because I'm not good enough." And the mirror responds, "You're not good enough. Here's additional proof confirming why you're not good enough." The reflection operates based entirely on the messages you're constantly sending to reality's mirror. Think of the mirror as a completely loyal companion who never questions what you believe. It always validates your perspective. So instead of attempting to directly manipulate the reflected image, We must learn to transform the image we're projecting in front of the mirror. This is similar to influencing another person's behavior. When we command someone directly, "Don't do that," what usually happens? They're more likely to do exactly what we've forbidden. However, if we choose to motivate and inspire instead, presenting compelling reasons to avoid certain actions and explaining potential negative consequences, the person naturally becomes more receptive to our influence. Our objective is to influence our world indirectly. The mirror of reality functions as an amplifier. It intensifies whatever you're broadcasting. It will always reflect what you hold as truth in your consciousness, both about your identity and your worldview. Please lock this into your memory. This is one of the most crucial keys you'll ever learn. Breaking the pattern, creating your identity. Now the million-dollar question surfaces. How do we actually change this? How do we interrupt this automatic pattern and consciously select what we desire? You need to construct your own identity and worldview, your personal paradigm. Let me give you a concrete example to illuminate how to build this identity. First and foremost, you must gain absolute clarity on what you want long-term. Picture yourself 10 years from now. In that final image, what activity do you see yourself doing daily? What do you possess that makes your life a continuous adventure of discovery? Ask yourself this powerful question. Who am I being in that future? What characteristics and traits do I embody when I'm achieving, having, and doing all these things? This is absolutely crucial. Don't skip over this. Next, consider your worldview. How do you perceive the world when you're living this reality? How does the world appear when you're experiencing all of this? Take a moment right now to craft powerful affirmations that bring this to life. First, create affirmations about your identity and how you see yourself. Something like, "I am worthy of extraordinary success. I am a magnet for abundance because I carry within me the transformative power of creation itself." Then construct affirmations relating to your vision of the world. For example, "The universe conspires in my favor. Everything unfolds at the perfect time according to a divine plan." As you dedicate yourself to repeating these affirmations daily and truly internalizing them, prepare yourself to witness an incredible transformation. The reality you perceive, the way you see the world, will begin shifting right before your eyes. Even if what you desire seems impossible for you today, that doesn't mean you won't achieve it tomorrow. Everything requires time, practice, and patience. Respect your timeline, but don't allow fear to prevent you from achieving the extraordinary. Make sure you pause this video right now and complete this exercise. It has the power to completely revolutionize your entire life trajectory. Key number 2, the delay phenomenon. Let's move to the second key, and this one explains why so many people give up right before their breakthrough. What you must understand is this. The reflection we observe in our material world forms with a certain time delay. Here's why this happens. In our inner world, we can create an image instantaneously. Just by closing our eyes and visualizing what we want, it exists in that dimension immediately. However, in the third dimension, the physical dimension, where we live, things require time to materialize. This is due to the inherent nature of matter itself. Matter is dense. It cannot break the laws of physics to make everything manifest instantly at the snap of your fingers. This brings us to the next critical key. You must maintain the belief you've established long enough for your desire to physically manifest. What does this actually mean in practice? It means you must remain faithful to the identity and worldview you've created until your goal reveals itself in physical form. Whatever you want to become, start by adopting the identity of someone who already is that thing. Ask yourself, how would that person act? How would they think? How would they make decisions? Hold on to that identity for long enough, and something fascinating occurs. Here's an interesting phenomenon I've observed when people start applying this principle. They notice their lives have natural ups and downs. They establish a belief and an identity, expecting their goal to manifest, but the result doesn't appear immediately. Then their emotional state begins to decline, along with the strength of their belief. Once their mood reaches its lowest point, suddenly the manifestation reveals itself. But here's the twist. When it manifests, it begins reflecting their previous negative attitude because of the time delay we discussed. Then what manifested starts deteriorating again because it's simply mirroring how they currently feel. This creates a wave pattern. A cycle that keeps repeating in your life, and most people can't escape it. They experience ups and downs, and they think there's no way to avoid them. The key is to always remain loyal to the identity and worldview you've created. This is the most effective way to promote significant and lasting changes in your life. Key number 3. The content versus nature principle. Now let's explore the next key, which I find profoundly impactful and which I've practiced daily for years. Here's what you need to understand. The mirror of reality doesn't reflect the nature of your thoughts. It reflects their purified content. Let me explain what this means, because this distinction changes everything. Think about it. If you keep expressing dissatisfaction, but there's specific content to your dissatisfaction. I hate my dead-end job. I hate my boss. I hate my partner. I hate the bills I have to pay. The mirror doesn't reflect the hate itself. It reflects the specific content of your hatred. For example, I hate the bills. Result, you get more bills. I hate my job. Result, more situations arise that increase your dissatisfaction with work. This is exactly how the mechanism operates. The more you complain about what you don't have and what you don't want, this will continue being reflected in your life, giving you more reasons to confirm your worldview and identity. This is the fundamental difference between a scarcity mentality and an abundance mentality. It's simply a question of seeing the glass as half full rather than half empty. The key to applying this in your life is elegantly simple. Focus on what you want and what you already have. To make any real change happen, you need to start focusing on what you already have right now. Everything you possess, all the progress you've already made, the beautiful family you have, the things you want in your life. Just stop and ask yourself, what do I want? What would make my life a genuine journey of discovery? How does that look? How does it feel? It can be a vague image, as long as you're focused on what you want rather than what you lack. When you do this consistently, when you continue focusing on what you want, something magical happens. The gap between your current life and your desired life begins to close. Why? Because you naturally start pushing the boundaries of your comfort zone. That's key number 3. Now let's move to the final and most powerful key. Key number 4. The mirror cycle. This 4th key will change everything forever. Because if you learn to consciously work with this mirror cycle, you will no longer feel uncertain about what you're doing. You will literally watch reality transform before your eyes. Let me break down how this cycle normally operates for most people. It all starts with observation. The backwards attitude you had in the past, all the complaints, the negative events that occurred, the unconscious choices that were made. That becomes the present moment. When you look at the present moment and face bills to pay, a job you dislike, you observe this current reality. You use this observation to form your image or attitude. When I say image, I mean the internal attitude, thoughts, and feelings that we present to the mirror. When we form this image based on current circumstances, the mirror has no choice but to reflect it back. So it reflects and forms reality according to that reflected image. But here's what usually happens, and this is the trap. Most people look at the reflection again and remain stuck in this cycle. This is an addictive trap that most people find themselves caught in. They observe, they remain stuck in that pattern, and eventually they think, damn, this keeps happening again and again. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Then they try different tactics and strategies. They try business strategies. They start a new business venture, and nothing fundamentally works. It might work temporarily. It gets them excited for a while. But then they inevitably return to that same pattern. Why? Simply because they can't make an internal change. Remember something vitally important. This happens because there's no fundamental shift occurring in terms of worldview and identity. So here's how to reverse this process. For most people, they start by observing, then creating the image, then seeing the reflection. This is the standard cycle for people who are puppets of circumstance. But if you want to become a co-creator, a genuine creator of your reality, you need to reverse this entire cycle. I'm telling you this because I've lived through it myself. Many years of my life following the wrong cycle. But when I truly understood this mechanism, everything transformed. To break this cycle, we first start with the image we would like to form. We turn our backs on the reflection. We turn away from looking at our current reality. Why? Because we begin to realize that what surrounds us now has only been formed from decisions made in the past. You need to grasp this deeply, or nothing will change. If I want to shape tomorrow, I must consciously choose today. So we start with the image. When we choose the image and declare, "This is what I want, and this is what I have," the mirror has no choice but to start reflecting it. In small amounts at first, little by little, even tiny changes will happen slowly, with that time delay we discussed earlier. So what do we do next? Instead of passively observing, we actively confirm. We take a look in the mirror specifically to see what's working. When we see the reflection, we think, "That's working. Look, that happened." If you wanted more confidence, over time you'll notice that people start welcoming you differently. They respond to you with more respect. If you wanted to improve some aspect of your work or business, you'll notice things are gradually getting better. Your whole world might be falling apart around you, but you only focus on the things you want to confirm, the things that correspond to that worldview and identity you've chosen to create. The idea is that you keep doing this consistently. The more you maintain this practice, it will transform into something beyond anything you've ever imagined. If you start using these principles, your life will change completely. This is real. This is something I applied, and it genuinely worked in ways I couldn't have predicted. So I'm passing it on to you now. At the very beginning of my journey with these principles, I thought it was nonsense, just another theory. But when I saw the actual results, it was absolutely insane. Things I wanted started coming to me, even beyond what I had originally imagined or visualized. The deeper truth of the mirror. As we dive into the depths of reality's mirror, we discover an inner power that we constantly overlook. What we see around us is genuinely an echo of our beliefs, identity, and worldview. But here's the secret of true transformation. Instead of merely observing reality and reacting to it, we must shape our destiny with the image of who we want to be and what we want to achieve. As we form this new image consistently, the mirror of reality responds. With small changes at first, slowly transforming itself to match our new internal state. The mirror of reality knows no limits. It doesn't judge. It doesn't question. It only responds to what we offer it. Just like the alchemist who transmutes lead into gold, we can transmute our lives by adopting a mindset of abundance, by focusing on what we have and what we genuinely want. Ultimately, our journey through the mirror of reality is a search for the truth within ourselves, a celebration of our ability to create, to innovate, to transcend the limitations we've accepted. Your next steps? I hope this knowledge becomes the flame that guides you through life's journey, helping you to create the reality of your deepest dreams. Thank you for embarking on this journey with me. If this message resonated with you on a deep level, I invite you to like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others who need to hear this message, people who are ready for real transformation. And don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, reflections, and experiences. I read every single comment, and I want to hear about your journey with the mirror principle. Thanks again for watching, and for joining me on this exploration of reality's deepest mechanics. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll go even deeper into the quantum nature of consciousness and creation. Remember, the reality you see tomorrow is being created by the identity you choose today. Choose wisely.